Okay. So this is going to be about corporations. And I'm just going to really break this down for you, really tell you like talk about like the problems we are facing due to corporations right now. And this is inherent with technology and media. Okay? Technology comes from corporation, media comes from corporations, right? So, the basic understanding of what a corporation is it is an entity. It is classified as an entity. When a business becomes a corporation, humans are no longer in control. They are the blood of the entity, and then when they are no longer useful, they're expelled. Or they're the breath of the entity, whatever you want to think about it, however you want to think about it. And this entity is only focused on profits. That's it. And guess what? Every day it's focused on profits. Every day. Doesn't matter if they made some changes and got more profits yesterday, they're still focused on profits today. And guess what? They don't give a shit about anything else. And they don't care about humanity, about human well-being. Right? So, every day they are working on profits. And they start to realize stuff like addiction really helps with profits. Messing with people psychologically really works and helps with profits. And every day, they're now working at better ways to make you more addicted, to make you more neurotic, to make you more insecure, to understand your psychology more and more, to abuse it, to make profits. So, technology. A lot of people need to realize this. The internet is so young. It is so young. Social media is so young. Your smartphone is such a young thing. It's so new. And so this is very important for people that are 20, even like 30 or whatever. But like it's extremely important for people that are younger than 20, maybe like 15 and stuff, or even younger. Like these, like if you're 13, like 10, like you need to know this because it's such a big problem for these kids. Corporations will continue. Another thing about corporations is their grasp and their power exponentially grows. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Okay? And this is like just every aspect of them just gets bigger and bigger. The amount of money they're making, their profit schemes, like the stuff they come up with every day, every hour, that grows more and more, and that's their power over humanity, right? Growing more and more. And it's also hurting humanity more and more because every day they're holding profits over humanity more and more. And so now now that we understand this, we're gonna focus on technology such as the smartphone, the internet, and then media like social media and all that. So the tech, like all of this stuff was designed around addiction. You can hear like it's extremely obvious. First off, it's extremely obvious because if you understand what addiction is and instant gratification and all that, like you just see like that's what this shit is. That's what this is, right? And so, and then like the CEOs even say it themselves. Like the Facebook CEO, he's like, yeah, like this is designed, or like one of the guys like that left it or something, like, yeah, bro, like it's actually really screwed up. Like Facebook is designed for instant gratification, and we designed it to make you as addicted as possible to it. And that's literally what all this is. Everything on your phone is designed around addiction. It's designed to make you addicted. And if you know anything about what happens when you're addicted to something, it makes your life shitty. It makes you neurotic. It makes you act out. It makes everything worse. It makes the color drain out of your life. Right? And so every day stuff is becoming more and more addictive. They are understanding psychology, and they're holding profits above humanity more and more every day, and creating more and more addictive, more and more harmful media and technology for you to consume. Right? So, if someone who is 20 years old, they're not as affected by this as someone that is 13 years old, because this 13-year-old is born into a world where profits were held over humanity for 7 years before they were even born, compared to the 20-year-old, right? So the addiction factor and stuff has risen to the point where the 20-year-old, when they got a piece of technology in their hand, it wasn't as powerful. The addiction factor and all the harmful factors from it wasn't as powerful because they didn't work on it for as long. When now, like 7 years is like so much with this stuff, because it exponentially grows so hardcore that all of a sudden, and like the whole grasp it has on humanity exponentially grows. So technology gets into the hands of kids at a younger and younger age now, and that technology is much more addictive and much more harmful in the basic sense, much more harmful. And you should know that harmful stuff, like obviously, like the younger you start with something harmful, the more it's going to affect you, right? And so people are starting now to accept technology and media that is more harmful than it was in the past at a younger and younger age. So this is making people extremely addicted to high stimulation and just technology and media in general. And this, and like there's so many ways you can talk about it. Like it's just obviously a really bad thing, but so let's talk about neural pathways. Neural pathways are how your mind creates like stuff to do. Like you have a neural pathway to pick up your cup. You have a neural pathway to look people in the eyes when you talk to them. Right? If you are, and the more you do something, the more your brain creates neural pathways for that, and it gets rid of neural pathways for stuff that you're not doing. That's why people practice, right? And so if the more addicted these kids become, the more they consume and the more focused they are on just this media and this technology, the more neural pathways they create for these things, and the more they delete other neural pathways for, say, socializing, like empathy or love and just like understanding or something, or being able to just calm the fuck down and chill out, right? Like neural pathways to like chill with low stimulation almost. Like that's also a big part of this, because I've talked about in my other videos, low stimulation is the key, and all of this contributes to a high stimulated society. A society whose nervous system cannot handle low stimulation, whose nervous system is addicted to high stimulation. And this is why people can't meditate for 10 seconds. This is why people's minds never turn off, why they deal with anxiety and depression and all that, and overthinking. The more addicted you are to high stimulation, the less you see clearly, the less you are able to just calm down and look at the truth. Calm down and enjoy your life. Okay, but in the most basic sense, it's addiction. It's making people junkies. It's making people zombies. Like it's a hardcore as fuck drug. Okay, hardcore. And it never stops. They're a continual user throughout the day, throughout their life, all the time. Boom, boom, boom. Consume, 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 consume. Hardcore drug addict. Okay, so that's the addiction factor. Now, we're going to talk about how social media has become a concrete part of our culture over just like 12 years. Concrete. So, you got to realize this is extremely young thing, yet it is an extremely concrete part of our culture. And if you understand sociology and psychology, you know that culture is what decides social norms, and that's basically how you think you're supposed to act. Your culture decides that, and we know that how you think you're supposed to act actually isn't based on your biology, because we've cross-cultural analyzed like a man from the Amazon rainforest, a man from India, a man from America, a man from the UK, and of course females too, and they all have like different social norms for like what they think, what a man thinks is masculine is totally different in India compared to here, right? And so that proves that there's no biological drive behind how you think you're supposed to act, and that it's actually just cultural. And so now that we understand that, we understand how crazy, or how like how much of a big deal it is that social media is such a concrete part of our culture, the thing that decides the way people act, and that this social media has been designed around addiction and designed for profit, nothing more. It's not designed to make us become better people. It's designed around addiction and uses psychology, harmful psychology, like to abuse us and make us be addicted to it, and all sorts of like in complex ways, right? And then just the whole like image of what Instagram is, for example, like is like that itself like starts to affect our culture in like in very like kind of complex ways. Like, so for example, there, I don't know, like you can't maybe you can still, but there used to be a top live stream for Instagram, right? And if you go on there and you click on there, it's like all the top people are literally girls twerking, or girls being sexual objects. And so this is a concrete part of our culture, right? A young kid who's been given technology at a very young age goes on Instagram. This is ingrained in her culture, right? And she goes and she sees who is the most popular people on Instagram. Oh, it's females objectifying themselves. That's who the most popular people are. This tells that kid that this is how you become popular. This is how you become the best girl, is you become a sexual object. And so it becomes a cycle. They all feed it back, and it just gets worse and worse, worse and worse. Think about how sexualizing our rap is nowadays. It's all bottom chakra shit, all first, second chakra. And whenever they talk about females, it's sexualizing them, right? And that's media. That's a part of our culture. And so you can see how all of this stuff is creating a cycle that feeds back into each other. The rap and Instagram, it makes the girls sort of accept the idea, and then the girls feed it back into the Instagram, and then the Instagram feeds it back into the more girls. That's the cycle. And it gets worse, and it becomes more and more inflamed, or it becomes greater and greater, worse and worse. People are obsessed about image. That's what Instagram is. It's just trying to put this image out of yourself. And you know from my Foundations of the Ego video that that's a part of having a weak ego, trying to fit into an image that you create yourself, an image that's a social construct, or trying to tell people, hey, this is me, this is my image, this is my image. And like people, and it also hurts you if you're consuming it, like, and you think like, because like the person who's the person's fake image, hurts you because it's jeopardizing your fake image for yourself as well. All sorts of stuff, and that creates toxicity and all that. So that's social media. Like, oh man, don't even get me started on pornography, dude. Pornography is a corporation, and pornography, oh my gosh, dude. It's been designed for profit, guys. Every day it's designed for profit, more and more. And trust me, they don't give a shit about humanity at all. And guess what? It's a part of our culture. And it's changing our social norms. It is over-sexualizing everyone. When you watch something, you gotta realize, like, it has an effect on you, dude. You can stop watching it and hopefully you're okay or whatever, but like it's just like, dude, you just have to realize, like, if you watch stuff like that, it has an effect on you. It does. And a lot of more unconscious people, they're like, dude, like, it doesn't, like, I wouldn't, like, it doesn't have an effect on me. Like, they just say that, and it's like, bro, like, when something really has an effect on you, you don't notice it. Boom, and that usually blows people's minds. They're like, holy shit, like, whoa. It's like, yeah, that's how this works. Like, that's how all this works. The cultural influence that molds your social norms. You don't realize it's happening unless you really take a step back. We should be treating all women as mothers. The bottom chakra is the sexual chakra. And if you are, and people that are watching porn all the time, people that are accepting the social norms that women should be objectified and sexual objects, like, that's keeping you stuck in your bottom chakra. You have 6 more chakras to go through that you can pull that energy up from and into. This is what NoFap's all about. Like, this is the magic of NoFap. That you start to harness your bottom chakra, and then you can start to breathe it up into the rest of your chakras, or just, it'll happen naturally. Like, that's probably where the hype of people that don't understand this aspect of NoFap, that's what they're feeling. They're feeling control over their chakras. Their power is rising, and that's why they feel so great about it. Or they're not viewing people as sexual objects anymore because they're out of their first chakra. Their first chakra isn't controlling the whole show anymore. Not everything's resonating in it. So yeah, do not trust corporations. Corporations only care about profits. They don't give a shit about you. They will kill you. Red Bull will kill you. Monster will kill you. Literally, actually, like anything packaged that you would find in a 7-Eleven or a convenience store will seriously kill you. And this blows people's minds. They don't understand it because they were propagated in school. School is propagation. That's what it is. You go to school for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours, and they don't really tell you jack shit. But people think, when they hear someone like me talking about all this stuff, they go, what? I went to school for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. Like, I never heard anything like this. And if it was really meaningful, I'm sure I would. And that's what the propagation is. That's half the propagation right there. To make you run away from the truth like this. To make you docile zombie that can easily be controlled. And so, I'm going to break it down a little bit more. School is, what happens in school is, what you're taught in school is what you're told is correct. Remember what you're told is correct. Remember what you're told. You are not taught how to learn in school. You are taught, remember what you're told is correct. If you remember everything, you do good on the test. Real learning is critically evaluating your experience and the environment you're in. Why did I succeed there? Why did I fail there? Why did he succeed there? Why did he fail there? Why did that happen? How did that play into this and that? Yeah, it's very basic. Why did I succeed? Why did I fail? That's what real learning is. Why did he succeed? Why did he fail? That's what real learning is right there. Yet that is not taught in schools. They never teach you how to actually learn. They just tell you, remember what you're told is correct. Remember what you're told is correct. And guess what? That's the other half of the propagation. You get out of school and you remember what you're told is correct. The advertisement says drink Red Bull, eat Doritos. Like, they're awesome, dude. The government's good. The police are really good. Like, the police are really good. Like, the government's really good. Like, what? Like, you sold weed? You sold weed? I've been told that that's illegal, and that means that's really fucking bad. Oh my gosh. Because they're so stuck in remember what you're told is correct. Yeah, man. Time to wake up, baby. Don't forget, God made the world perfect, though. God made the world perfect, my friend. Peace and love. I love you.